Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Aspects of Leading Music for Worship. My name is Dr. Luke Gambill, and I have the privilege of being at Lee University. Let's see, just wrapped up 5 regular academic years, and was teaching with Lee Online before coming to Lee. And obviously, along with my regular load here on campus, I continue to teach with Lee Online. Well, welcome to Aspects of Leading. This is going to be a great class, certainly very applicable and very important for those of you like myself who lead quite regularly on the local church level, lead music. And this course, I know this is in your syllabus, but this course, I'm going to read this. It says, to demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the role and importance of music in the evangelical Pentecostal church. And wherever you are, your setting, the church that you serve, you fall within that somehow. Goes on to say, you'll describe and evaluate music types and styles used in the 21st century church music. So that would be today. So we're not just going to be, kind of visiting everything from the past. We're going to be looking at what is church music today? What is leading music today? How is that applicable to us today? So we're going to be looking at that. So that's wonderful. Third, communicate an understanding of the worship experience and suggest how music relates to corporate and private worship. Because I'm sure, as you know, what we do as pastoral musicians, as Dr. Constance Cherry puts it, is not just for the public worship service, but it's what we do in private. It's what we do on our own. It's what we do outside the doors of the church, even. We'll continue on here. It says, identify resources, tools, and media useful in music ministry. Obviously, the technical side and resource side of music ministry has gotten pretty involved these days. And so we're going to be looking at that as well. And then last, evaluate the power of music to influence and change attitudes and behaviors in all areas of music. Evaluate the power of music, because we know that there is power in that. There's something that moves us when we hear a particular lyric or a melody or a chord progression. Those things really move us. And so what do we do with that? How do we best utilize that within the settings of our local church? Well, you may be wondering, who is this Dr. Luke Gambill guy? Well, as I mentioned, just wrapped up my 5th year here at Lee University. And prior to that, I was a local church worship pastor for many years before God kind of placed my path in the Christian music industry in resourcing. And so for about 20 years, I was with companies like Integrity Music, Brentwood Benson, Capital Christian Music Group, developing resources that maybe you yourself have used at some point. Lead sheets, chord charts, choral resources, resources for kids worship, resources for student worship, all kinds of wonderful things. And so that was kind of my life. And then God called me into academia some years ago, and here I am today. 3rd generation Church of God PK. My dad and his dad were both Church of God pastors. I have 2 daughters, of course my wife, and a son-in-law, and a now a little over 2-year-old granddaughter. She's lovely. You will have 2 textbooks for this course, and if you haven't already, you need to make sure you get your hands on these because you will be utilizing these. The first is Ministering Through Music by Dr. Delton Alford. If you've been around church music on any level for a while, within Church of God circles especially, then you've heard of Dr. Delton Alford. And so you'll want to try to get your hands on this book for sure, Ministering Through Music. And then second, and I've already mentioned Dr. Cherry, but you're going to need The Worship Architect, and that's the 2nd edition. The Worship Architect, 2nd edition. It's kind of a yellow cover by Dr. Constance Cherry. My undergraduate is in worship studies from Southeastern University. I got my graduate degree in worship studies through Liberty University and did my doctorate work through the Robert E. Weber Institute for Worship Studies, where Dr. Cherry was one of my professors and is now the new president of that wonderful school. So just a little bit more background about me there. Some expectations. As you're going about this course, if you've not done a Lee online class before, I need to make sure you are aware of these. And if you have done one of these classes before, then you have done this, but still you want to stay on top of it. And that is, you will have threaded discussions. By a particular time of the week, each week, you will need to have posted something about what you've read, that kind of thing. And the syllabus, the coursework will give you all this information. You're going to make sure that you make those posts. And then you are to go back in and read the posts by your fellow classmates and respond to them X amount of times. And I'll be going through and not so much moderating as much as entering in that conversation with you, but also, if you will, taking a tally, a score of your interactions, because that will be part of your final grade, is your discussions and how you kind of interact there. Second is your assignments. You will have some weekly assignments, things to read and write, submit, all those kinds of things. And so both the discussions and those assignments, there are certain days of the week where you are to get those items completed and submitted, because I will be grading at a particular same time of the week each preceding week. So make sure you get in by that time, whatever the syllabus prescribes to you for those items, because I will be like clockwork coming in after those dates have passed and grading those things and moving on to the next week with you. These are short classes, meaning there's only so many weeks in this. So don't get behind a week or two kind of thing, because that will be challenging to catch back up. Just stay on top of it, because I think it's like 7 weeks, we'll be finished with this. You can do this. And as always with any of our professors, contact me with any questions that you might have. My email address, you'll see it there at the front end of Moodle, and of course on this message that you would have received from me via email, is Gambill. My last name is spelled Gambill. So Gambill at leeuniversity.edu. All right, get ready, get set, off we go. And if you haven't seen it already, I did send you all an email a few days ago, maybe a week ago, something about Moodle. It's going to be down for a day or something coming up, and it will be after the course has started. So make sure you check those messages, because any of that information that you needed to have submitted during that window, you need to submit that earlier before Moodle goes down for that day. And I'm so sorry about that. Obviously, that's out of my hands. We are upgrading Moodle, and just happens to fall in the middle of summer during your class. So don't take it personal. All right. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'll see you starting next week on aspects of leading music for worship. All right. God bless you. Talk to you soon.